Welcome everyone to Spring Has Sprung. This is our Sacred Evolutionary Dowsing 10th week, and we're going to get to explore dragon work today. We're excited, and Charlie is going to open our call. So with that, I pass it over to you.
Thank you, Shelley, and welcome all to our beautiful gathering here, our Circle of 12 Sacred Evolutionary Consortium. For those who are not here with us today, we hold your light and love in your respective places around the circle, and we send our love and peace to you. And Shelley has now put up that beautiful circle of light. And so we offer our heart's grace to each of you. Let's see. I'm going to try to diminish this view options. Still doesn't take me out of full view. All right, how do I do that, Shelley? Because I wanted to read something.
Okay, hold on. So just a minute. One, breathing.
It's all good. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Exit full screen. Okay. Yeah. The interesting part was as I came today, I have my dragon shirt on, and I have my dragon Minia, who anchors the primordial energy of creation in my grid work. And I thought about how we're gathering here to honor dragon energies. And as I looked through my files, there's one of my favorite openings, an invocation for sacred space. On the first recognition is to the south. So let us send our focus to the south, to the winds of the south. Great serpent, wrap your coils of light around us. Teach us to shed the past the way you shed your skin, to walk softly on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. To the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, protect our medicine space. Teach us the way of peace, to live impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. To the winds of the north, hummingbird, grandmothers and grandfathers, ancient ones, come and warm your hands by our fires. Whisper to us in the wind, we honor you who have come before us, and you who will come after us, our children's children. To the winds of the east, great eagle and condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Keep us under your wing. Show us the mountains we only dare to dream of. Teach us to fly wing to wing with the Great Spirit. Mother Earth, Father Son, galactic brothers and sisters, we welcome you all to our circle here today. We ask that you speak freely in our circle through us to each other so that we may be able to speak to the rest of the world in your behalf. We honor you. We honor and bow to you as being our ancient ancestors who we once communicated with face to face. Know in your hearts today that as we gather as one. Unity is our pledge in this circle. Take a deep breath in. Feel the waters, feel the air, feel the fire, Feel the earth. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. As we ground, I pass Minya, the beautiful crystalline dragon, to whoever would like to be the first speaker in our circle.
Can I go first?
Yes.
Okay, great. Can you see me? This is my happy dance. The grant was funded. The grant was funded. Oh my God, you guys, this is so awesome. This was a combined effort. You guys helped. I'm absolutely positive. Working together, the land trust, the state of Massachusetts, and I love the earth. I honor the earth. I thank the earth. I thank you guys so, so much. This is awesome. I am so happy. I'm done.
Well, we have to all unmute ourselves and ourselves. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of goodness that's showing up in this spring equinox full moon. It's unbelievable. I mean, even Charlie doesn't know about some other things that I know about. And it's amazing and so exciting. We're so happy. And let's just take a moment to just like hold that land. We don't even need a visual because we know what it feels like to be with that land, and that it was meant to come through you. And that, wow, that we got to play that part in holding that frequency. I'm complete. Thank you so much for coming in and how exciting, how exciting.
And thank you for honoring your truth and moving through this and holding fast in your position and grounding and anchoring the light that you needed to assist in this project. So I honor you and thank you.
Thank you guys, and protecting our earth one small piece at a time. I just can't. When I got the news, the feeling was just like, oh wow, this is just so awesome for the small piece of the earth here. But in Massachusetts, 500 acres being preserved is quite a large chunk. And namaste, you guys.
Oh my God, thank you so much. And I would request that you would write a story or mini story or a paragraph about your experience with the consortium in that support of that. That would be really beautiful if you would. It's not a rush, but
right.
In your jubilee. It's really funny. Wait, oh my God, I just realized something. This morning in my journal, the intention was jubilation, a jig for joy. That's it. That's what I woke up with.
And you got it. There you go. Careful what you wish for.
Oh man, that's beautiful. Long, do you want to share anything around that?
I can't beat what you just shared. Other than that, the equinox is amazing, and like all things, when you expand, you also see what needs to be shown, and that was somewhat difficult, but it helped, and I got out of it, and everything seems to be lining up for everybody here, and
Yeah.
It's great to see.
It's amazing.
Especially Joanne, with how happy she is.
Oh, I'm so happy, and we started that not just in this. We started it in the fall, right?
Yes.
We started working on that in the fall. Awesome! Wow, what a way to start this call. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's breathe with that one. Anything else pouring out? So send us a picture of the 500 acres when you have a chance, or a picture of a map or something. When you have a chance. Yeah, that would be great.
Okay, I will.
Oh, just go out and celebrate you. Really, really, really. We're celebrating you. Well, with that, how amazing. I'm going to, oops, I am going to do something here. I'm going to share the screen. So yes, so thank you, Charlie, for that beautiful opening, and Minia. Can't wait to see you in person soon. And we just hold Shanti Hart and Stephanie and Tyson and Kathy and Julia and Grace and Najma. We love you all. We're holding you. Whatever. There must be something great and groovy going on in your worlds. So we hold you in this circle this morning with this focus of the earth. And as we moved into spring, and for Najma and Julia, they're moving into the fall equinox of winter. So what's really beautiful here is that we're holding the balance. And last night it was really incredible because I ended up going, I haven't gone out very much, but last night I went out to a gathering, and there was about 200 people there. And it was a Celtic spring equinox full moon ceremony. And what was really amazing to me was they opened up the circle, and this one woman who is a druid, she's the octave druid, whatever that means, and she did the whole ceremony. And when she got to the south, and she said, for the Celtic, you know, in this doing the 7 directions, the south is the dragon. I was completely floored. Like, I had never, you know, being conscious of Native American traditions, and I just never came across my path until, interesting enough, last night. And so just moving forward, just kind of just checking out again this email, like, here be the dragons. And so I was in that ceremony. I got into my car and I went like, wait a minute, I can't leave until I talk to her. I need to understand why the dragon was placed in the south. So maybe Long's going to have some interesting information for us. And I did. I went back in after pretty much everyone had left, and I said, can you just tell me, you know, can you tell me more about the dragon? And she pulled out this beautiful baby dragon coming out of its shell, this sculpture that she got from somewhere around Glastonbury. And she was, you know, delighted to show me. And she said she actually didn't know. And here she has studied Druidism for, I don't know how many, 30 years, and she had no clue. So with that, I just kind of went home and I was kind of smiling, and then woke up at 2 to kind of discover some of these, just a little bit of information, just to kind of ignite the field, so to speak. So I found this really beautiful dragon the directions of the dragon, and with the elements, and I just kind of loved it. So I'm going to just read it into the field. I arise, or let's just use we arise today through the strength of the universe, the light of the sun, the radiance of the moon, the splendor of fire, speed of lightning, swiftness of wind, depth of sea, stability of earth, and firmness of rock. The dragon of air before me, dragon of water behind me, dragon of air before us, dragon of water behind us, dragon of fire to the left of us, and dragon of earth to the right of us, dragon of light above us, dragon of darkness below us, great dragon spirit within us, mighty dragons, we honor thee. And that was a Celtic prayer. And so there's a lot, you can find a lot on sort of the history and of Chinese culture, which we're going to learn more about, hopefully. And that dragon was a symbol of power. And I loved this blue dragon. And it was funny because it reminded me so much of the energy of water and lightning. And so the azure dragon corresponds to the season of spring. As the dragon is considered by the Chinese as the noblest of animals, it is the head of the four symbols. The azure dragon, its element is wood. Although Chinese dragons are commonly associated with water, the azure dragon is exception. So moving forward, I was just really enamored to kind of take a little bit of time to understand the dragon cosmology. And there's the dragon here. We see Draco at the ecliptic pole of the Earth. I love this. It's near Vega, and Vega actually and Altair are part of the Navigator's Triangle. In ancient times, the cataclysmic force of nature were personified as great cosmic dragons or serpents. And here we have the Celtic dragons, and they're all associated with the elements of Earth. Each dragon symbolizing the union of the beneficial elements of water, air, earth, and spirit. So it was just a little ignition. I'm not going to get into reading this whole thing about the Celtic dragon, but that was very poignant for my experience last night. And that the Celtic dragons have always been associated with the power of land. And that also, when we move into speaking about that the Druid believed dragons connected with us by means of the earth, its magnetism, and its healing waters. So I think that's enough said. And of course, the dragon lines also relate to the ley lines. So with that, and then we'll have new dragon partners this week. I'm going to just stop the share. And just as we invoke and open the way for Lon to speak, I'd like to just take a moment and just set the space, depending on if we're going to work with a piece of property or not. So let's just set the space in inviting. Let's just use some color frequencies here today. I'm really visualizing this violet flame coming up from the earth, coming up through our whatever land with our feet uncrossed, just allowing this energy of this violet flame to come up through, spiraling up through our bodies, this transmutational frequency as it's connecting in with the crystalline nature of Earth and connecting us with the cosmos. And visualize this beautiful frequency moving out from our sacred chamber of our heart, that point of that point of space, and it's moving out around our bodies and connecting in with the full circle of energy here today. And within that violet flame is this beautiful sapphire blue frequency. And we see it just expanding out, becoming a beautiful orb or bubble around us as a circle here today, creating this field of light, energy, and vibration, protecting us and filtering anything that doesn't belong in this space here today, and allowing in and empowering those of us here and holding space for us, those that aren't here. And then within this violet flame is beautiful rose frequency. And we see this frequency underneath our feet and around our bodies, expanding out from our sacred chamber of our heart. This field of unconditional love and compassion. And today, jubilance, joy, our interconnectivity, feeling supported, connected, and loved. And then we can visualize this beautiful star Merkaba above our heads, above our circle here. And as it spins, we are showered with golden light coming down, connecting from the great central sun, over and around our circle here today, and connecting with the sun within the earth, that fire. And bringing our attention back to our heart space, this heartbeat of the mother. We acknowledge the mother with gratitude, love. We acknowledge our guides and all multidimensional light beings here working with us today. May we be protected, guarded, and held in this space. And so it is. So with that, we hand it over to you, Long, and let's see where we're going to go.
Thank you. I think it's perfect that we get to talk about the dragons today after the equinox and water day, and with the beautiful picture that Carol shared with us with the golden dragon above the sunset, that we welcome the golden dragon in with all of us. And it's also really fitting that the dragons are here because Shelley, you invited us into this circle, and you used to work with the golden dragon. And if you remember, if you know or not, you're actually a dragon yourself. And I didn't, right before this talk, I had actually prepared something about trying to inform you guys about the dragons, and I got to speak to Joanne right before this call, and it occurred to me, this isn't a speech about reminding how to work about the dragons, but actually to remind every one of us in this group that you guys are all actually dragons. It didn't occur to me until this call, and you get a chance later to take out your pendulum and your dowsing rod and ask, am I a dragon? You'll be surprised about what your answer is. And this is actually an opportunity to remind each one of you your true essence and why it's really important for you guys to actually remember why you're dragons, because as dowsing masters, you have the ability to open the dragon ley lines, which are closed, the dragon vortexes, the dragon portals, and more importantly, release trapped dragons, which are trapped for different reasons, some of them which are benign reasons. Mostly, we have actually buried dragons, which are part of us in our dragon selves in different parts of the earth to protect ourselves, so that at some point we'll remember and retrieve that dragon so it can come back in our lives and guide us and to help us in our path. And so I guess I'll give a brief history of the dragons and how the earth was created from the dragon's perspective. When the earth was created, it had to be put to form. In order for it to be formed, our creator had to call on the largest, oldest, and the most dense dragon. Her name is Tiamat. And with the assistance of the crystalline dragon and Metatron, the geometry of the earth.
Sorry, hey, Long?
Yeah.
Sorry. Oops, I don't mean to. Can you guys hear him really clearly, or does it sound a little muffled?
I'll switch headphones for that.
And would you just talk a little slower? So I'm drinking this in, so I'm just a little bit.
Can you hear me better now?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. What part did you not hear, or did you have problems hearing?
Oh, just the last part. I just didn't hear what you were saying.
Okay. Okay, so from the dragon's perspective, how the earth was created was that in order to create it, we needed to call on the biggest and the oldest and the most dense dragon there was. And her name is Tiamat. And with her, in conjunction with the crystalline dragon and Metatron, the geometry of the Earth was formed with a crystalline core and a heart of fire. The dragon ley lines are actually Gaia's DNA, and they're used to anchor the consciousness of Mother Earth into her being. And so the familiar structure of 12 wrapped around one was used. The 12 beings being the 6 male and the 6 female black, white, earth, fire, and water dragon. They're the oldest and the largest after Tiamat. And together they form what is the earth. And to hold that all into form, Tiamat actually wraps her whole entire body around the womb of the earth to hold the whole earth into its form. And so our goal as dragons is to connect to our light body and ground ourselves into the core of the earth. But rather than regular human beings where we just consent and anchor the light down into our core, into the crystalline core to help spread energy for the ley lines, we're actually asked to anchor down straight into her and shine light into the densest part of the earth. And once enough light anchors down to her, she can then release Gaia into light. And so Gaia can ascend into be her light body. And so the dragons vibrate at the same level or the same frequencies as angels. They work together in many different ways. The Merkaba that we talk about a lot, and some of the things that Shelley brought in together, is held together by the dragons. The 4 elemental dragons hold the 4 points of the Merkaba, and the black and the white dragons hold the top and the bottom portions of it, and they spin. And together they help us travel interdimensionally and to do many different things. And so by working with the dragons, what their goal is to clean our vessel. Their goal is to clear the ley lines in our body, which mimic the Earth's ley lines, so that we can communicate with the angels, the elements, and all the fairies and everything, so that they can ask us to open the ley lines, to release trapped dragons, and to open dragon portals, because they can't do that themselves. So they need us to communicate with the angels and the guides. And we don't need to know how to do those things. All we need to do is, if we incorporate that into our dowsing protocols and just ask, are there ley lines here, dragon ley lines here, or portals or vortexes, or dragons or trapped here that can be released or opened? If you get an answer yes, all you need to do is ask the universe to do that for you, and they'll be released. They're not like entities where you have to ask, do you want to go or anything? They just want to go. They just want to leave. They just want to reunite with their human counterpart to help them guide through the earth and their journey. So if we can do that, and if you start doing that, chances are, because of who you are, there are dragon portals, there are dragon ley lines, there are trapped dragons around where you live, actually in your house. And you check that and you start doing that, the dragons will sense that and they'll come and they'll start working with you. Every one of us, if you actually, once you douse and you know that you're a dragon, if you want to work with the dragons on a deeper level, there's a book called The Dragon Within. It's an ebook online that you can just order and download right away. And the book will set forth every different dragon and how to work with them. Each dragon has a mantra, a calling, and a method of breathing. And as you do that, you'll call forth the dragon, and the dragon will come and assist you. At first, when you work with elemental dragons, they'll clear different parts of your body. And I'll go through which each dragon does. The earth dragon grounds our light body into our physical form. The male earth dragon actually resides in South America. It lays his body from Argentina to the Caribbean islands. The female version of that resides in eastern Australia to the east of Asia. The air dragon creates vortexes that connects heaven to earth, transferring information from the two planes. And it's also responsible for the major hurricanes and tornadoes throughout much of life. And this happens because it needs to shift dense energies and breaks them up, and it does that through air. The male dragon resides on the China coastline to Siberia, whereas the female resides in the Appalachian Range to Elizabeth Island of Canada. The fire dragon, what he does is he burns our fears and opens our blockages for our body. And the male version of that, the male dragon stretches his body from western U.S. to Canada with his heart at Yellowstone Park, where the volcanoes are in Yellowstone Park. The female extends her body from Indonesia to the Himalayas with her heart in Sumatra. The water dragon, which is my personal favorite, is the connection to all that is. It connects us to unconditional love. And it's also the crucial link that links our light bodies to the physical plane and that's how we bring heaven to earth, by grounding our light body into the physical plane. And the female water dragon lives in the ocean, floor of the ocean off the coast of Peru into the southern Pacific Ocean, whereas the male lives in the entire Indian Ocean. And then the black and white dragons, which I think a lot of you guys are going to be more familiar with, is where the micro ley lines are, which stretch from Ireland to the UK. And that's where most of the people were, Glastonbury and all those Stonehenge, all the major vortexes. That's where the black and the white dragons reside. Their counterparts also reside through the Hawaiian Islands, through Tahiti. And so here's a quick way to how you can work with the dragons. Tonight, light a candle and relax and go into your sacred place in your heart, and just breathe gently, and then invite the golden dragon in. And she'll be there, and she'll either take you someplace, or you'll feel her energy come into your being, and just let it be. And then once the energy calms down, just relax and just wake up. Sorry, I'm not used to public speaking, so I'm kind of nervous. I'm trying to think. And actually, to be honest, Joanne actually threw me for a big loop, because I was just going to give elemental things. And then when I got the information that everybody in here is a dragon, and just take the risk and have them douse and see what they got. And I started with her, and she said, yeah, I am a dragon. They've always been with me. And she said, I have all these little dragons all around me. I didn't know I was collecting dragons for a reason. And I was like, all right, well, let's just see what happens. And then Charlie breaks out his dragon. I was like, oh, I got even more nervous. And then I remember I have a little tiny dragon too, and it's a little golden baby crystal dragon. And so it just kind of threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting to have this talk, but the most important thing is that if you guys could actually just start adding to your protocol about releasing, opening ley lines, vortexes, they'll be able to come and work with you guys, because they very much want to work with all of us, and they really need our help to release more dragons. As we release more dragons, they'll be able to come and help their human counterpart. And a lot of those beings are you and I in this group. And as you release your guides and they come back and find you, they will be able to just take it from there. And that's the best way for me to tell you how to work with the dragons, because it's an individual thing. You have to want to do it. You have to consent to it. You have to sit down and take the time and do the breathing practices and mantra. For me, I spend 5 to 10 minutes a day. I write down the different categories of dragons, and I just take out my pendulum and I say, which dragons do I need to work with? You don't have to work with them in order from the elemental and up. You can skip. The book that I recommended was written 11 years ago, and you just ask, which dragon should I work with? And whatever answer you get, you go over the book and you read that section of the book. The book comes with it is a CD which has the mantras, reciting the mantra in the background. You put it on a loop, and it runs about 3 minutes. I do it for about 5 to 10 minutes a day. I just read it, and I memorize the mantra, and then I play it in the background. I close my eyes, and I start doing the breathing exercises. The water dragon, you visualize yourself like being in the water. You float back and forth. The air dragons, you breathe in a circle of motion, and you recite the mantra, and then they'll just come in, and you'll start feeling things. They'll start opening passage gates within your body. They'll connect you to the earth. They'll connect you to your high heart. They'll do everything for you. They're they look mean, ferocious, and big because they are, and they can be. And it's scary to work with them because you're actually stepping into your true power. And a lot of us are scared to be in our true power. But once you get over that fear, you'll discover your true self. And part of that is releasing control and getting out of your mind and just being with nature and let her take you where she wants you to be without any restrictions, guidelines, or attempts to control things. And with that, I'll just, if you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them the best I can.
Whoa, thank you, Long. That was amazing. I have a bunch of questions, and I'm sure each one of us do. It's really interesting to me because, waking up and just working on all the dragons, just going and asking, what do I need to know, and just bring forward that email. I remember I had a dream, but I don't remember it. But what I did wake up with was this fire in my being that I'm to sell this house. It's time, like, to come forward and step into my power and sell this house. Like, I can, and so let's see here what the questions are, and let's just open this. But that fire that was in there was really interesting, because even my dad said, I said, Dad, I woke up this morning and I was just like, boom, I knew that I'm just sell the house. I can sell the house. I had to wait. And it was such a synchronistic energy, and he said, well, you sure did wait a long time. And I said, I couldn't before. I work with spirit. I wasn't allowed to, my brother had to get to the point where he was desperate, and then maybe I can do this. But, so anyway, maybe we can play with a little bit with this energy of this house as well today. But I thank you. I have a bunch of questions, but let's open it up to everyone to, allow this I feel like it's a spawning. I don't know, that word just came to me. It's a spawning of awareness here today. So thank you. And you did great, by the way.
Thanks.
So everyone can just unmute themselves. There's only 4 of us here. So just let's open it up and allow the questions that we have and allow that information to come through.
Well, I want to thank you, Long, and evidently there was a reason why I didn't call you. It was to listen to you today. And it's interesting because as I work with this crystal dragon, I've had it's a very deep personal relationship. And it took me a long time to discover her name. And so when you were talking, in the end, you were talking about energies. And so the thing that arose to me is lately, I've been in the field and encountering these giant energies. And so my practice is not to label them, because I want to see them as energy. But as you were talking, I'm now thinking, I wonder if they are the dragons. So the next time I encounter them, I will ask. So thank you for opening that gateway for me to entertain the idea of a lot of what I'm meeting in the field is actually dragon energy. I again, my practice is to not label it, just to work with it. And but it's nice to know. It's nice to know. So thank you. I will definitely call and seek the dragon and the dragon energy. And with that, I'm complete.
And I guess I'm feeling right now is to just kind of concentrate on this a little bit. The sphere being the earth and freeing the dragons. been collecting dragons I haven't for many years, but I did initially, and I guess now I know why. I have this small one, and I have this one. I love this one. They're dragons on the top here. It's like a, this is, not hieroglyphic, but if you look at it through the light, it's actually the earth. And the other side is the wizard with the crystal ball looking into it. And then I have another wizard, and he also has a dragon with him. So now I know why. I'm complete.
Okay, well, I'm going to share a story. This is amazing. I'm just like totally, and I did douse and I got a yes for sure. It was just like, and I have to go upstairs to get 2 dragons that are upstairs because they're one, and one of them has a very special story. But I have a story to tell you, Long, and I don't know if you know this yet. Just a quick question: did you go see Crystal Hayes this week? Did you, Joanne? Did you guys get in contact?
You mean Grace? I'm with Grace.
No. Crystal Hayes was the one who whose house we did last week.
Oh,
and you
no.
offered to help her, and she didn't call you.
Oh, no, I didn't hear anything.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, actually, it had to be left in her hands. So I gave her your information, and
Yes.
It would need to come from her. So it's okay. It's exactly what is. But there is something to share with you all.
I actually didn't go to her house, but I actually went around the land around her house because Joanne pointed out that circular object was there. Was a huge dragon portal that needed to be opened, and there was tons of dragons stuck in there. And I went there and I opened all that around there. And I couldn't have figured that out without Joanne mentioning that. And I was like, something is going on there. I just wanted to make sure that the 2 were released. And so I went back there, and that structure around there is a huge dragon hub that needed to be opened.
Great. Well, I'll be talking to her probably tomorrow. So we'll see how she's doing and what's up. And Charlie, I don't know if you've seen her.
She didn't mention anything. She gave me back my ring, and we didn't really talk, but she was very excited, and her energy was shifted, and very thankful and grateful. So I didn't dive into it. I didn't bring anything up because I felt that it was her. My impression to the whole thing, this was about a self-discovery project for her, mm-hmm. and a realignment within her, mm-hmm. and I wasn't being called to jump in at this point. So mm-hmm. we'll talk in the future.
I'm going to share something with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I did talk to her last week and told her what happened in the consortium and gave her your number, and she was really blown away. And then this magical thing happened, which I was waiting to share. Maybe, Charlie, you do know. So anyway, when I told her about you finding the dragons, I said, this is new for me, but Long, I don't know what you're going to make about this, right? But I said, but Long started talking about these 2 dragons. And she said, well, this is amazing. And this was probably her turning point in trusting herself. Because she said, I have always worked with 2 dragons, and they're never more than 2. It's only 2. So this is a gift back to you, Long. And she said, when I was 16 years old, when I was 16 years old when I got my 2 mystical dragons. They are now over 21 years old, so the lines are blending together, but I said, would you mind sending me a picture of where, if it's not too private, where they are. So, come on, lady. Ah, come on. It doesn't open up. Okay, hold on. I just saved it. 1 second. I just want to get it for you. It's pretty amazing. Okay. So for her, it was totally amazing that you said, and I told her the whole story, when you checked and you checked, and it was only 2.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
Is that amazing? I was just like,
Mm.
I'm going to call him right now and tell him you need to. So just as a confirmation to your gift, and she said, that just, I think that really opened her to trusting going back in, and I'm sure there'll be more conversations about dragons with her, because that's her gift, and probably she's a dragon, and she's being called to step forward in her fullest potential, and so that's her journey right here. And isn't that amazing? She's been on there since she was 16 years old.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's why the dragons had to adversely affect her to get her attention, to come to you, to bring it to here for all of us. And so everything aligns up.
Yeah. Oh, just take a breath. So I do have a lot of questions. I am just going to run upstairs for 1 minute. You guys can just keep talking for a minute. I just have to bring down the dragons that have shown up in my life. So it's show and tell time. Show and tell dragon time. I'll be right back.
I also liked how you mentioned, and I was wondering if it's in that book, about the dragons holding the points of the tetrahedron. Because the tetrahedron.
I'm sorry.
Obviously I'm a dragon on some level. That all of this is in alignment with everything that I do. So I keep getting confirmations. What you said today is a confirmation of part of me as well. So how is that? How do they work with the points? Just holding their own energy, or?
Yeah, actually, when we travel interdimensionally, the dragons will come along and they'll line up north, south, west, east with the elemental dragons and hold the points of the bottom of the pyramid, the 4-point pyramid, and then the white and the black will hold either the top or the bottom, with Archangel Melchizedek next to the white dragon, and Archangel Michael at the bottom of where the black dragon is. And you can visualize yourself standing inside the center of the Merkaba, or visualize almost like you're standing inside a diamond shape, and it'll spin, and that's how they take you to the second sun, the grand central sun, and any star system. Most of us don't see that, but if you can expand out, that those dragons are holding those points for you to create that Merkaba.
Awesome. Thank you. No, that's great.
Will you repeat that real quick? I don't want to miss a thing.
No, Charlie knows. I mean, I was just explaining him because Shelley loves the Merkaba as well. It's that the earth, fire, wind, and I'm missing one of them. They hold north, south, west, east, and they hold the points of the four corners of the Merkaba, the triangle that goes up, with the white and the black holding the top and the bottom. And so if you visualize yourself at the heart level is where the elemental dragons are holding the points, and you're standing inside a octahedron or a diamond-shaped object. You're literally standing inside a diamond. That's what the Merkaba looks like, and starts spinning. And that's what you use to travel to the grand central sun, the second sun, the star systems, and like that, and where we each individually come from. Because we all came in from kind of some star system or whatever into this earth plane. And so they facilitate that and help you travel interdimensionally.
Thank you. That's amazing, and we'll have to get a good picture of that. So also I just would add this, it's interesting how the color frequencies came in today, and the Seven Sacred Flames book. If you don't have never seen that, it's an amazing book and really describes how to travel to the different places. Not some, well, yeah, galactically, and it's pretty amazing. If you don't have that, you definitely want to get that book. So here's what came into my life fairly recently, and she's been in the sitting in the relationship and career, and no, the lead, the fame. So here it's Kuan Yin, and I've never seen her before. This is just me. Probably you have, maybe. She's riding on the dragon.
I see.
Kuan Yin on the dragon. And then this is a pretty amazing thing that's in here. So my grandmother was a pretty amazing woman, and she was a pleaser, so she got very stuck in that pleasing, but she would do kind of hidden things for me with my, I could go to different events and she would watch my kids, but we wouldn't really tell anybody what I was doing. But she, the thing that she left me is about 8 feet wide by about 4 feet long, and it's a totally needlepoint. It was her favorite piece of work that she did, and I just have a small picture of it, but it's the
Mm-hmm.
water dragon, and this is just a picture, but it's huge.
Yeah.
It's in storage right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's just been with me ever since she passed, and it's completely like her love and attention and her relationship. She just loved dragons, and so interesting to me. And she loved going to China, and and so the dragons were that was her favorite piece. But so fascinating, isn't it? The water dragon, right?
That's my favorite dragon as well.
Hmm.
So I have a couple of questions. Now I don't know if I'm going to remember them because they were all, you were talking. I just want to kind of go back through here. So I didn't see anything Carol sent, so I guess I missed that one. I'll have to go back and find that. And you said the biggest dragon was called Tiamont, like Tiamont?
Tiamat. She's the oldest and the largest dragon, and she's the one that guards Gaia. She wraps her whole entire body around the womb area of Gaia, and because she's the densest, we're asked to connect and anchor into her, and it's also because she's dense and chaotic. It's also the most fearful thing to do, because we're being asked basically to relinquish control and surrender to nature, and get out of our minds, get out of our attempts to control, and just be one with nature, and let her take you wherever she wants you to go. And by doing so, you experience pure bliss and joy. And that's from what I understand, that's the goal of our Creator, and that's his desire or her desire for us all to experience, and to help everybody else experience that on heaven on earth.
Okay. Thank you. And you said something really amazing. You said the dragon lines are the Earth's DNA, and then you said wrapped around the 12 around, or you mentioned the 12 around 1, and that was a key point for me. How interesting that we're here. So can you just speak a little bit more of what your knowledge is around what the dragon lines have to do with the DNA and the 12 around 1?
Well, the 12 around 1 was how the Earth took its form and shape. In order to create it using the various dragons, it needed the elemental dragons with the white and the black dragons, and the male and the female counterparts of the earth, fire, wind, and earth, in order to materialize earth into form. And then it was all held together by Tiamat.
Okay. And when you
And
say
then
parts, what will you just explain that? When you say and they're you've said it a couple times. You said and their counterparts. What is?
oh, okay. So for example, the fire dragon there's a male and a female version
Oh, okay.
of the yeah, and then whereas like the golden dragon, for example, is both male and female. Whereas it's not the same for the fire, the water, the earth, and the wind dragons. Although at some point within our journey, we unite both the male and female versions of the water, fire, earth, and the wind dragons within us. And as we do that, we step up the next level, and then we can work on the next level of dragons, which are interdimensional, and then we go into the Cirrus dragons and the higher level dragons. And as you work with those dragons, they bring codes down to you, and they help you awaken aspects of you and things like that. And they're so loving. A lot of times when you first start working with them in your meditative state or whatever, you'll see dragons just like come right up to your face, and they'll stare you in the eye. And what they're doing is they're looking into your soul. They're trying to engage your intent and how pure you are. And a lot of times people get scared by that. What happens with me when I see that, there's a part of me that's watching this happen, and it just starts laughing at the dragon, going, "Oh, come here, stop it." It's like you're trying to act tough and everything, but I know you're really nice and everything, and it breaks the ice. Because they are just pure love, but at the same time, their job here is to guard Mother Earth. And if we do things to violate what is in pure divine plan and will, they will destroy the earth. They've had to destroy it many times because we fell from grace. We had to start over again. That's why the fires start, the typhoons happen, because they're breaking up energies. They're trying to shift it, and their goal is to bring heaven on earth and to help us all get there. And part of the scary part is we have to be willing to step into our own power, our own personal power. We have to be willing to expand into that giant shape and all that energy and all that power, and then not be afraid of it and shy away from it.
Okay. Wow. Thank you. So once we start working with them, and it's funny because I have in the past, but I haven't recently, and I feel like, but for me, the strongest vibration was the golden dragon, for sure. And I even when I look back about golden light dowsing, I can't remember how I even got that name. Like, where did it even come from? I don't even remember, which is really quite bizarre. Maybe sometime I'll find out. But so.
And then the golden dragon comes in your life when you're actually ready. You're ready to step into your power. That's usually a sign when you're at the threshold about to step in your power, and then and it prepares you to do that. And it's also a very protective dragon. The dragons, if they'll be around you, they're guarding you, they're watching you as you open these ley lines and help the dragons. They'll be there. If you need help, you need whatever, they're there. Not that you need help, but.
So when you're talking about opening ley lines, that was my next question. In my experience, there are ley lines that are functioning. There are ley lines that are broken. I know a lot of people work with ley lines, kind of opening them up, like you're saying. I'm just curious, can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so like I haven't had as much experience as you with just working with ley lines in general. And my thing would be if for example, where I'm at home right now, if I hadn't done anything, the first thing I would ask is, are there any dormant dragon ley lines here that could be open? If I got a yes, I would just ask the universe, can you just open that for me? And if I get a yes, then I just say, please do so. And that's it. And it's open. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll ask for the dormant dragon ley lines to be open. I'll ask them to connect to all adjoining ley lines and send love through all of them.
Okay.
And that's really all there is. We don't have to get into details of how mechanically that has to happen. All we have to do is just ask the universe, and they'll just take care of it for us. And that's the same thing with dragon vortexes and dragon portals. The dragon portals will actually help the dragons travel in and out of where you're at. The dragon vortexes will release that energy around you, and in most cases, it'll just pump up the brain wave of your home. If it's at alpha, it'll bring it up to theta, or wherever it is.
Okay, so let's talk about that. This is really, jump in, you guys, if you want to. I'm just this was like the flow.
I was just going to ask, are there any damaged dragon ley lines, and should we be asking if they need repair? Only because I work with grid lines of all kinds of nature. I'm probably working with dragon ley lines, and as I say, I pull all the labels off. So are there some that are damaged that need to be repaired as well?
Yes, that is true. And also same thing with vortexes and portals as well. And then sometimes if you notice there's tons of portals that you're opening that are close together, you can ask, do these portals need to be connected together so they form one giant portal?
Okay, great.
But in most cases, you'll just have a thought or something like that. You'll just look over and you'll be like that. There'll be a thought in your mind, and just confirm it.
Okay, so that relates to me. Okay, so a lot of times in teaching dowsing and working with houses, there will be a number of vortex, let's just say negative, what we would find as negative vortexes. And if you clear that bigger one, sometimes the other ones clear with them. So that kind of relates to what you're talking about. But are you saying that let's just use as an example, every negative vortex is a dragon vortex? Is that?
No.
Right, okay. I just want to be clear.
Yeah, so the negative, I would ask those to be converted into positive vortexes, and negatives are totally different from dragon vortexes.
Okay. And do you know?
And then I'm sorry?
Do you know it in what way?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I mean, I started learning about the vortexes and things like that from learning from you, and it just took off from its own. I didn't know to check for ley lines and vortexes and things like that. And it didn't really occur when I was just starting my journey. I mean, I wanted to learn how to do those things, but I didn't know until I learned from you. And then when I learned from you, I was like, oh, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And then once I started doing that, the dragons started coming and going, and just started showing me, and just took me where I had to go.
I love it.
And then the thought just pops in, yeah.
That's really beautiful.
That's why I said it was really fitting for me to be invited to this group and by a dragon herself who works with the golden dragon.
It's really bizarre. Like sometimes I feel like I'll look in the mirror and I'll feel like my face looks dragon-like to me. Like it's really weird. Like that happens to people. What?
That happens to people. They'll shape-shift into a dragon. Their eyes will turn into a slit, and sometimes you might close your eyes and you'll see a dragon superimposed over your body, and it's you within yourself. And I think the first group, very first meeting we had in our group, and we were told, pick an elemental dragon, and I was given the wind dragon. And I hadn't worked with the wind dragon in a while, and my wind and male dragon merged together. And when it did, it just like flew in my body, and my body just started moving around like a dragon in unnatural ways. And then it was like afterwards, just like, oh, we just merged your male and female dragon for you. And I was like, I got my pendulum, I double checked, and sure enough, I got a yes. I was like, okay, thanks. And they're here to help everybody, but if they notice and sense that you're doing more things which are, conducive to helping humanity, planet Earth, and the dragons, they'll allocate all their resources to you to help you grow and become, better human beings.
Maybe
That's a dog dragon.
No, what's weird is there's nobody. She's all of a sudden just went over and started barking over in that one corner, and there's like nobody there.
It's always somebody there.
I mean, that's pretty much. Hey, Layla, come here. Come on. Who's over there? Somebody that she's hearing or seeing.
Let me show that picture that Carol had gotten real quick, and then I'll give it back to you.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Here it is, the head,
Dragon.
the wings, and yep, right above this. Can you see it? Here's the head, the eyes, the wings, the tail.
Is this a picture she just took, or what'd she say?
She was on, I guess, vacation, took the picture, and she shared it with everybody.
Wow.
This is about 3 days ago.
Amazing. Wow. Layla.
Yeah, the synchronicity. And that's how they appear to you sometimes. They appear as clouds, or, you might see a dragon in a tree or in the mountains and things like that. But in most cases, when we're meditating or we have our eyes closed, they'll appear.
I have a dragon downstairs that's holding a crystal ball like Joanne's. And I always wondered why I attracted that. And I have no clue where it came from or how I arrived at it. But and it's probably 20 years ago when I first started my journey after dying, and this came to me. And so I'm now going to go look through for all my dragons, because I know there's more.
Question. So, does everyone feel like their questions are kind of complete? Yeah. This part. Okay. So, let me see. 432. So, it's like 430. Okay. 430. Okay. Wow. Okay. Sorry, I just wanted to figure out what time it was, where we were at. So what if can we do a little dowsing, and let's see, since maybe I can pull up, I actually am dowsing a house tomorrow, and I think it's really kind of a mess. So I could either do this house, or I can bring up, I can get the address.
Someone just pulled in. I'll be right there.
Okay, great. So shall we, here's an address. Charlie, you want to pull up this address?
We can certainly try.
Let's do a little, can we do a little dragon work, Long? Should we work you a little bit? And let's, because this house has, I'm going to go douse it, and she's trying to find renters and no one's taking it. And there are a lot of interesting energies on this house. So tell me when you're ready for the address.
I'm ready.
Okay. 893.
Yep.
Simmons Avenue, Simmons.
Yep.
And that's in Sarasota.
In Sarasota, it's right at the top of the list. Okay.
All right, let's pull it up. Let's see what we get. Let's do a little dowsing. See if we can.
Going in. All right. So we want to.
Let's just get a feeling for it, an image, and then bring up maybe go into the house.
Okay. Share. Okay. Does everybody see it?
Yeah. Maybe should we bring us in a little closer, or?
Yes, we can go dive.
Well, no, actually, let's go out a little bit so we can kind of get a feeling. And Long, I'm going to be quiet. You direct this.
Oh, hold on. I thought I just saw a dragon in the ground.
This area is attracting my attention. Yeah, I'm seeing a dragon head right here. That's,
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally see dragons there. Do you see them? There's like 3 of them, and they're all kind of like.
yeah, that's what I'm sensing. Yeah.
Oh, you know what that must be? I wonder if that's a golf course.
Probably a golf course, but that's okay.
And
Yeah.
then what's the 4 towers circle?
I that
I don't know what that is.
that looks it's probably and maybe they're growing something and they're spraying. I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, I know what it is. Sorry, it's 4 baseball fields. Go back.
4 baseball fields. Wow, there you go.
Okay.
Baseball country. Look at them all over there. Wow. Okay.
That's what it looked like to me, 2 baseball fields. Yeah.
So let's go in closer to the property. So I want to talk about Tani Faz. I didn't send any information about Tani Faz.
No, you didn't.
Did I? No.
And then we have these 2. I assume they're man-made aquifer ponds, or this is a development, or
No. Where she lives it's a whole house and property.
okay.
So let's go over to near her. Okay, I see her house. Okay. So so like behind her house is you'll see they're doing they're going to do a lot of building back there, but her house is still primarily and I don't even know if are going to be able to see it on Google Earth. I'm going over there tomorrow, so I'll take pictures.
Well, let me.
If you just freeze it right there, if you actually move it 2 frames down farther. I mean, back out. No, stay there and just back out a little bit.
Yep.
1 more or 2 more? 1 more. Right there to the left of there. To the left, right over there. There's a little patch of cement right there. There's a dragon head right there.
Yep.
If you douse it, you'll see it. There's a dragon right there. And it'll confirm it in your dousing.
Oh yeah. So you really start to see them everywhere, don't you?
Yeah, you can. That's how they start showing up, and then and then you just use your intuition, going, could that be a dragon? And just take out your pendulum. Is that a dragon? And you'll get a confirmation, yes or no. And the more you do that, the more the connections in your brain and your circuit into that intuition start building over time, and then you'll just have thoughts that come in your head.
Right. That makes perfect
But
sense.
I get that dragon's being adversely affected by something around there.
I'm thinking that's look above the dragon and bring us in closer to that body of water. I think it's just a
Yeah, they're just. I mean,
it's a weird. Yeah.
it's just a pond. I know.
Detention, retention, maybe.
Yeah, I know in Florida they do a lot of that, and I don't know if it's because of the karst in the soil that the water comes up in certain places, so they excavate these to contain the water.
Right.
But I know
Crocodiles.
There you go. You got to have some place to keep the crocodiles. That's it.
So let's go in closer to the house.
And just try and see if I can maybe go street view.
So that's the house where the red dot, and then that's a pool behind the house.
Behind the house. I can probably go to street view.
Yeah, try it.
Drag to street view. So would this be her driveway here, do you think? Or
her driveway is, yeah, where that person is the driveway. Yep.
all right. So
here's an interesting thing about this house is that she immediately, like I said, you better douse this house because I heard she calls it the tree house. Okay, so this is the driveway in. That's the parking. Okay, so you got to kind of turn it a little.
this way or the other way? I can go further down the street too.
No. Her house is to the right of that garage.
To the right, over here?
No, you just lost it. It's not down the street. You were on the right exact. Okay, look at that power line. There you go. There's a whole piece right there. Okay, that's woo.
Now let me shift the.
So the white thing is a probably picture taken with an RV.
Right. Okay.
So here's the thing with this house. She was crazy in buying this house. As soon as she told me about it, I'm like, oh my God, this is like something is not good with this house. And the first thing that happened was she just got people to live in there because they had to wait a year for their whatever the tax laws are. And these people, like she had to evict them, and they just were staying and cut trees and destroyed really got into nasty stuff. And there was a woman who was living there who I think it might be the same person who's living underneath. So there's the whole house, and then there's a small apartment, and then there's 2 outbuildings. And it was hell and brimstone between the 2 of them. And it took her about a year to get her out. And now there's nobody living in there, but she can't get any renters. And it so needs to be doused. So
Yeah, so here you have the dragon's head, or this patch of cement here in relationship to it. You have that pond in relationship to it, and then you have this. So what I'm sensing is you got 2 bodies of water. If I backed out and drew a line.
Right.
See if I can do that. So you've got her house is right in between those 2 bodies of water. I don't know what else. And then there's another body of water here. But I'm just trying to. This is what I do. I just play with lines.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
I mean,
No, it's
whatever you see or whatever you want me to go, I can do that.
No, I think this is important because we know there's a lot of geopathic stress that's happening through that property, number 1.
Yeah. And that line would be going right, right, through the house is there. So it's catching the house. And if you shift it in on the pond, then you catch it even further. So there's definitely a relationship there with energy.
Yep. And so if you can see if you can go back to the driveway where you were.
Okay, so that would be right here. I'll get this little guy here. So.
Okay. So her house, yep, keep turning. Yep, there you go. Keep going. Oh, look at, we get to see the red line, right? Look at that. Wow. Okay, so the house.
This is the house in the back here.
No, it isn't.
No, it's over here.
Yeah, so the other view that you just had. So the house is, are you on the right? Right, keep turning it to your left, well, like to your left. So, because the house is on the right of our view. Well, how did that happen? Maybe not. Okay, well, I guess it's too much in the woods to kind of.
Yeah. Okay, so it's.
Yeah, it's just too challenging to. So because you're showing the driveway going in, and those two things are to the left, but the building is on.
Okay. That's where the boathouse is, and that. Okay, and then it's over further, so we're not being able to see it from the street.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. So let's just I don't know, Long, like if you were given this property and we were looking at, should we just why don't you just use us as a collective? We're here and we're leaving our minds, our vision, but going into this piece of property, we know there's a lot going on here. And what?
Yeah. So if I was just going to start, I'm just going to look from the dragon's perspective first, other than like, what the negative vortexes are and everything. I would just ask, is there a dragon trapped in that house? And I get a yes. And then I ask, like, how many dragons are trapped there?
I get a yes too.
I get one dragon's trapped there.
Okay, hold on. Go slow though, so we can all test.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So it's okay. It's learning how to work with a group, really. So, so we're asking. So we've definitely got a yes, and let's
Yes.
ask how many dragons are stuck there. I get two. But so here's the thing, when, at least this is my learning, and feel free to say what you want. When we're working as a group, we kind of got to go with the average, because if you have to go with the assumption nobody's wrong, unless
No, you're right. There's two. I get two now.
Oh. But we always want to kind of just go, okay, there's two, or maybe someone says three, so somewhere between 2 and 3, and we check with the 2, are they released, I guess, in this case, and then we'll check to see if there's any other. So we always nobody's ever wrong here. That's important information.
Right.
Joanne?
And so, Joanne, would you?
I confirmed 1, and it was kind of iffy on the 2, but definitely, there was 1.
Okay.
Yeah, when I spun the count, I got like 1.5, which sometimes means 2. Then I asked, is there 1? And I got no, and I asked if there was 2, and I got a yes. So
Okay.
that's kind of how I do it both ways. I kind of ask the same question, but different ways. So I get a cross-reference. So I don't.
And sometimes it's weird. After you release 1 or whatever there was, there'll be another batch afterwards. So you just come back and check, because there's got to be an order how it's released for some reason. Just like last week when I was telling you about my friend, and she had to release her dragon guide first before her dragon aspect would show up in the tree that she had to be released. But now I think we can.
So
because we have 2 there.
I want to say that's a very good point for everybody to take note of, that if we're releasing dragons, he just said there may be more behind it that come back up. So it would probably be in our best interest to just assume the possibility is greater than less than. So to double check after you release them. Is there any time frame between that long or?
No.
No.
Oh, I mean, when to double check that I don't know. Like the next day, I just go back and check and then see what I get.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Or something will rise in your intuition. Like I should go back there and check. There's something I need to know.
I have a question. My question is, would you ask, is the dragon in the house or is it on the property outside of the house? Does that matter?
You could. Usually I'm too lazy, or I'm just trying to do things quick, so I'll just ask, is there, I mean, if I was doing it for a client, or if I was doing it for, somebody who's sitting there that was following along, I would be more thorough.
Yeah.
All right, so keep going.
Okay, so if now that let's just assume there's 2 there, I would just then ask, using my pendulum, I would ask the universe, can you release those 2 dragons for us and see what you get.
This is what I'm getting. I'm getting that we can release 1 dragon, but there's something about that second dragon, which is why we're kind of getting different kind of messaging. But there's something maybe we even need to know about that second dragon. I don't know. That's just kind of.
Okay, well, let's go with that, and let's ask, now that the universe is giving you consent to release 1, just ask, please release that 1 dragon, and let's see what happens.
Please release that 1 dragon on wings. James's.
So I work with a pendulum. So my pendulum will start swinging, and then when it comes to a rest, I'll ask, was that dragon release, and see if you get yes or no.
And I'm working with the rods, and basically I'm using only one rod, and to the right is yes, and to the left is no, just so that everybody knows. And I get that one dragon is released. And what came to me while that was happening was the issue between Jane, the two people who own the house, because she keeps talking about divorce, and and they bought that house together as a place they were going to move into together. So that was their intention energetically as well in buying the house. And now she's getting fiercer about, threatening him with divorce. So there's a lot. And then she just told me today or yesterday morning that they weren't going to move in at all. Their plan had been that they were going to live in this house once they got the people out. That was going to be sort of their dream treehouse. And so there's a lot going on there emotionally.
I did get that. One dragon was released, but it was a very slow and kind of almost restricted release.
I also get that dragon was released. What are you getting, Shelley?
Yeah, I got that one dragon was released, and
Okay.
I would think that we need to check on that second one.
Yeah.
If there is a second one.
Yeah, I'm getting there's a second one.
Yeah, I'm getting there's a second one. Charlie, Joanne?
Yeah, there's a second one. The first one I felt it release. The second one is, I'm not so sure it wants to be released. There's I'm getting a lot of distorted energy. And what I'm seeing is a circle of trees right here. I was trying to draw a circle on it, but my thing doesn't seem to want to be working. But that's okay.
I'm getting that the second dragon is like at an intersection. It can't be released right now.
Oh, okay. I think I need to share about Tani Faz. You know about Tani Faz? Long. Joanne?
No, I.
No.
Okay. So I'll tell you a little story, and then you can just see what happens. So Tani Faz are really the dragon of New Zealand, and they're the sacred serpents, really. But when they're misunderstood, they are very fierce and can become very fierce on a piece of property, and they usually live in water. They're the river dragons, really. I guess this would tie in with the water dragon. And so just a little message about, when we originally started the dowsing consortium, there was a place where there was a lot of accidents. And we discovered, we were working at that time with a Maori guy, and that was where, I had learned about Tani Faz, and we saw the dragon in the water. You could actually see it. The water was right along, the whole water body looked like a dragon, like you're informing us, Long. And it was right along the highway, the exact place where people were being killed. And so we worked with that Tani Faz because ultimately they need to be respected. And the Maori, Tahungas would honor those dragons, and they would honor, and they would sometimes feed them. They would sometimes, I will send out a whole piece about the Taniwha because it's really phenomenal and there's amazing stories. But, I feel like it's sort of another layer of understanding. And Charlie, you can speak to your experience when were you there when we were working with Marilyn and the Taniwhas or no?
No, I
Oh,
wasn't
okay,
there.
okay. So the bottom line is we dispersed that, we honored it, and then it left. And there was never been another accident. And there were accidents constantly. People were being killed. And there hadn't been, at least when this person left the consortium, there had not been another accident in that area. So in terms of understanding, how we were, if you go way out again, Charlie, if you look at, where those other dragons were and just the energy, um, uh, it feels to me there's just, I don't know if it's a specific Taniwha. We can ask. Okay, so, and also you got to understand, I don't know right now without going in looking more at the area, but there's a big river that well, the water's all been kind of displaced and moved around. That's the other thing about this area.
That's what I'm sensing.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a real displacement, and the earth isn't really happy, and given that they get this house and this whole fighting thing happens, that's a real indicator to me. So I'm getting the dragon, the second dragon is the female. And more than that, I don't know. So what would be your next suggestion? See, look at the dragons on the land to the left here, in the land that we first noticed. They're all connected to bodies of water. Those, do you see those? 1, 2, 3.
Yeah. That water. Yeah, those are all
right
ponds. Yeah, again, they're part of that. They've really distorted the water.
So anyway, so let us know what the next step is. But I'm getting it's a female, really strong, like she is like, and it's exactly the way Elaine is being, like, I can't, like, I don't even, like, kind of, I've gone out with her a number of times, but she just can't stop talking about this, this uprising and how she's, and again, it's about control. So when you're talking about relinquishing control, that's not really happening energetically on this piece of land and in their relationship. I'm always looking at the broader picture as well. What's going on here, that they attracted this piece of property and wanted it as a dream house, and now don't want to have anything to, they just want to get renters in there. It's become a money, if they were to sell it, they would lose money. So it's now become like an investment house.
I'm getting the dragon right to the left in that cement patch that we had just right to the left of the house, and the house are under the control or being influenced by dark forces, and it's adversely affecting the dragon and the house, and that we can just ask if if we can just neutralize that and transform those energies into pure love, that it would help.
Yeah, my rods kind of are calming down to really calm. I'm getting to, like, to calm, like, just for us here today is to calm it, so I can calm the energy so I can even go in there. And send it love, like you're saying. Be released. I'm definitely getting the dragons in the water. Yes, part of the water. Joanne, Charlie? Charlie's busy.
Charlie is under guidance. Okay. So there you have your what I call a triad. So it's cutting through her house, but it's being affected by three bodies of water. And this one on the left is part of the dragon. And so what I'm sensing is the whole disruption of the land, both with the golf course, with the land that's being constructed over here. Her house is in the middle. Then there's this area right here, which is not, there's something not pleasant about that to me. It's like condos or something. So it was complete disrespect for the land.
Yeah, I mean, everyone in Florida is trying to just throw up the cheapest housing. So
Yeah, so this was all for profit right here. The individual homes were, you know, were profit making, but this mess, pardon my language, but what I call that mess is just sheer greed. So with that said.
So with that said, let's bring our attention like so long, just like in terms of, because like for me, the big dragon head on the left, that water, I guess I want to ask is can we, is the dragon willing to be released yet? And I'm still getting no.
In the house?
Is it in the house?
No, I mean, are you asking about the dragon in the house?
That's well, somewhere on the property. Is it on the property? I'm getting it's on the property. Is it on? Why don't you ask? Come on, Yinny, come on.
Yeah, it's in the property.
Yeah, I get it.
Release, yeah. No, it can't be released right now.
Yeah.
Are there dragons in the water? We have right.
Charlie, maybe we do the 4-pillar protocol. And by the way, about the 4-pillar protocol, Charlie and I have talked, and we're going to offer an evening offering teaching people how to do the 4-pillar protocol, or it's a couple, I don't know if it's going to be an afternoon or we need to talk about it more, but my sense is I'm hearing in April, we will teach people. For me, that 4-pillar protocol, it's really important to understand the lineage and to know the background and understand the Waitaha as a part of taking on that that level of presence, I guess, with this particular protocol, you know. So more than just a water blessing, it can be used to actually clean a house. Like, I'm not going to actually do it tomorrow. Like, that's actually what I'm hearing right in this moment. I hadn't even thought about it, but it needs to be cleaned. So like as an understanding that 4-pillar protocol, it's like like if you hurt yourself or a child hurt herself, you wouldn't want to just put a Band-Aid on the dirty cut. So it's how to bring the home and land back to blueprint. So we could actually ask right now, do we need to bring the place back to blueprint before the dragon can be released? Or see if it has anything to do with that. And would it be a good thing to do the pillar protocol right here, just setting the frequency for the dowsing? Anything about that? Or is that what's needed for this dragon, or is there something else that's needed? I don't know. Maybe we need to ask what dragon to work with. Do you ever do that?
I'm getting that there's dragons stuck in all three water spots that Charlie's pointed out, and that the four pillars will release them, and that perhaps we might have to release those three, or the numbers are in those three spots before the one in the property could be released. It's that's possible.
Yeah. I'm also getting, Shelley, that if you're there, I would put a crystal or crystal sand. I would visit all three of those spots, and I would do a blessing in each of those water spots just for the water. If that was me, what I would do, and it just doesn't have to be a long ceremony. It could be the Four Pillars Protocol, or just recognizing and honoring the water, and in a ceremony of release. Because I'm feeling the water is trapped. So that's what I would do. I would work on the house and the land itself. But these three bodies of water have something to do with that energetically.
I probably can't, so I think part of what I'm working with is how to do things remotely.
Remotely, okay. So then you can, in that case, what I would do is
I'll bring the crystal sand to the house. I don't think I can get in the one that you already marked with the waves. I don't think that's a golf course. I'm not gonna be able to get in there. I'll look though for sure.
Well, that's it. I don't know what the situation is. In that case, what I do is I make a photo of this, and I copy that, and then I place crystals. I start a crystal grid in my house, and with the intention of the energy, because the energy gets there through intention. So that's another. So I can do that.
So let's just do it now. Let's just all.
Focus. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just all do, and you can just breathe in as Charlie and I are saying the protocol.
Yeah, I can do hope alone.
Yep, and Ho'oponopono. You want to do the 4-pillar protocol or Ho'oponopono?
We can do the 4-pillar protocol. That's fine. I mean, we know that works, and basically what we're just asking for everybody to tap into the water. It's one water, but it's appearing in 3 different places. It's been, I'm sensing it's been separated. There's a separation, and the dragons are not happy with what has been done, because it's just totally against all universal rules and principles. And so we'll say the 4 Pillars Protocol to stabilize that. Whenever you're ready, Shelley.
Okay. Tihe
Moriora. Ite ingua. Te whaia. Te tamu. Te matua.
Te wā taku.
Ite ingua. Te tamu. Te matua. Te whaia. Te wairua tapu. Ite ingua. Te matua. Te whaia. Te tamu. Te wairua tapu.
Tihe moriora. So the breath of life. And so just seeing that release of the density of the land, this whole, I felt like they're asking us to not just work on the house, but to work on the landscape, the energy landscape, like we're doing, and to bring love and purity and light, and to honor the dragons, to honor the Tanifa. And that we thank you and we love you, and we're here to see this property be released to hold the highest frequency of love and light and energy.
I see dragon wings flapping.
And let's just all check to see if there's anything else. Is there anything else that could be done at this point? Go ahead.
I would double check and see if there's any dragons stuck in the house anymore.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting.
That's a dragon.
And also on the floor, and also if you check the energy of the house, it's dramatically different now.
I'm getting it was released.
Yeah.
Freed up.
I'm getting that they all release.
Yeah.
And then if you get that, see what the energy level of that property or the house is now.
Okay, so I'm getting it still, it's positive, whereas before it was really, really negative, but it's at 20% of its potential. I mean, I feel like there's more, there's geopathic stress there, and there's...
yeah, we still haven't done all the other things that we would normally do.
I'm getting that it definitely shifted from negative to positive, and it's open to being worked with. And, you know, there's something.
Yeah, I agree with that. I got a positive. It was a constant, steady turn, but I wasn't going to get any great number from it. It was just what it was basically sharing with me that the energy was positive, it was stable.
Right. Yeah, that's same here. Joanne, anything you want to add?
I'm getting the same.
Okay. Cool. Can you take us off of share, Charlie?
Sure.
And maybe you can send that to us.
Okay.
Tonight.
Save. I want to save that. Okay. And
cool. Wow. Yeah, I feel much better going over there because I didn't really feel so great. And it worked out amazing. I was supposed to go today. And I just really listened to my own body. And it was just like, you know, I really need to self-nurture myself. And also not to go over there when I'm tired. That would be not really healthy.
yeah, it was a bigger field of energy than just the house.
Yeah. So thank you, Lon, so much for what you've shared with us.
Yes,
and
thank you for sharing that. It was fun to do it with dragons and see the dragons.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. That was a new experience for me.
Really amazing. And I love that we applied it. Yeah, just hold that. Maybe you can just print out that piece of property and hold it there for its work to be worked on tomorrow. And congratulations to the land and Joanne. Woo!
Yes.
And you're going to send us something wonderful and maybe a picture of the land. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that would be great. Yeah, because I'd love to hold that, get a picture of that and put some crystals on it to energy for that land and all the work that everybody's doing for it.
I would love
Thank you. We still have a few more hurdles, but town meeting will be one. I will definitely let you guys know before town meeting because there's 2 parcels owned by the town that we very much would like to be a part of this project. And if that happens, because town meeting can be tough, then for sure the project will come to fruition.
So we're calling that you meet it with great ease and joy and jubilation.
And let me know when it is and the address of the town hall.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Whenever. It's not a necessary night right now, but I would love to be there. So
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay.
So Charlie, if you
Thank you.
could disconnect us
Not physically, but etherically. So, okay. So
and
in
close our.
our due protocol, in due protocol, we've gone onto this land etherically, energetically. Yes, with our guardian dragons this time, and yet there is negativity that can attach to us because we are the ones who are part of the clearing. So what I would like everybody to do is to find a beautiful place of water near you that you feel is clean and cleansing. And I want you to envision yourself going to that water source and scooping the water up in your hands and allowing it to pour over your body. And in doing so, just saying, I release, I release, I release. I am that I am, and I release. And feel the water washing away all of the ickiness or stickiness or whatever you're feeling energetically from working on this property today. And then move into your hearts. Feel that golden light in your heart and send it upward and send it to the center of the earth. Knowing that you're fully balanced in the golden light, breathing it in and releasing it. I love you. I thank you. I respect you. I am you. You are me. And we are unity. Take a deep breath. Back into your physical body. Feel your fingers, your toes, open your eyes.
And we thank the dragons for being with us
Thank the
today.
dragons, yes.
Lon, is there
Thank you,
anything
guys.
want to add as a closing for the dragons? Or
On behalf of all the dragons and all of us here, I thank you guys for wishing us all here, and thank you for opening your hearts and receiving all this, and may that carry with you throughout your day and for the rest of the week until we meet again. Namaste.
Thank you.
thank you. What amazing.